So guys, after the pressure and emotional momentum that built up in episode 46, episode 47 of Arafta feels like the episode where internal struggle finally starts showing on the surface. This is no longer just about waiting or silence. Episode 47 is about emotional exposure, moments where control slips and true feelings begin to leak out whether the characters want them to or not. In episode 47, Mercan will continue moving forward, but this time her growth will be visible not just in distance, but in confidence. She will no longer appear unsure about her choices. Instead, she may act with a quiet certainty that makes it clear she knows where she stands emotionally. Mercan will no longer adjust her behavior to avoid conflict. If something feels wrong, she will no longer hide it behind politeness or patience. One of the most important developments in this episode is that Mercan may finally stop protecting Aesh emotionally. In earlier episodes, even when she was hurt, she still tried to understand him. In episode 47, that emotional protection may disappear. Not out of cruelty, but out of self-respect. Mercan will begin acting like someone who understands that empathy should not come at the cost of self-betrayal. Aesh, on the other hand, will feel more exposed than ever. Episode 47 may show him struggling to maintain his emotional composure. The pressure that has been building inside him will start to surface through frustration, hesitation, or even emotional cracks. He may want to speak, but the fear of consequences will hold him back. And that hesitation will slowly turn into visible anxiety. Throughout this episode, Aesh might attempt to regain emotional ground, but his efforts will feel different from before. Instead of controlling silence, he may try emotional honesty in fragments, incomplete thoughts, half-confessions, or emotional reactions that suggest regret without fully explaining it. These moments will confuse Mercan at first, but they will also confirm something important. Aesh is no longer in control of his emotions. Episode 47 may also highlight how silence begins to feel heavy for everyone involved. Side characters could start sensing that something is about to break. Someone may confront Aesh more directly, not accusing him, but warning him. Someone else may openly support Mercan's strength, validating her decision to move forward. These external reactions will make it impossible for the situation to remain private or contained. Emotionally, episode 47 could give us a very powerful moment for Mercan. There may be a scene where she clearly realizes that closure does not always come from answers, sometimes it comes from acceptance. This realization will be deeply emotional, but also liberating. Mercan will understand that she does not need Aesh's confession to justify her choices anymore. For Aesh, this episode may mark the beginning of emotional collapse rather than resolution. We could see him alone, overwhelmed by the realization that he waited too long to act decisively. The idea that honesty might no longer fix anything will haunt him. This fear will make him unpredictable, one moment ready to speak, the next moment retreating into silence again. Another important possibility in episode 47 is that Mercan may take a symbolic step toward emotional separation. This does not have to be a dramatic exit. It could be a small decision, a boundary clearly stated, or a choice that signals permanence. These small actions will speak louder than any argument ever could. As the episode moves forward, interactions between Mercan and Aesh will feel raw and uncomfortable. Not because of anger, but because both will finally understand what is at stake. Conversations will feel careful. Pauses will feel intentional. Episode 47 is not about misunderstanding. It's about clarity. Toward the final part of episode 47, we can expect a major emotional setup for the next turning point. Aesh may finally reach a moment where he understands that silence is no longer an option. Mercan, however, may already be prepared for whatever comes next, with or without his truth. This imbalance will define the emotional core of the episode. The ending of episode 47 is likely to be intense, but understated. Not a loud confrontation, but a moment that feels irreversible. A decision, a look, or a line that confirms that the story has crossed into a new phase. Mercan may walk forward emotionally, while Aesh is left realizing that some chances disappear quietly. Overall, Episode 47 feels like the episode where emotional walls finally crack. Mercan continues stepping into independence and clarity, while Aesh faces the reality that delayed honesty has a cost. Love still exists, but now it stands beside vulnerability, regret, and the fear of permanent loss. If episode 47 unfolds this way, then the episodes ahead will focus less on tension and more on fallout. What happens when emotions can no longer be contained? Before we end today's video, I want to ask you one honest question. Do you think Aesh will finally say everything in the next episode, or has Mercan already reached a point where the truth won't change her decision anymore? Drop your answer in the comments below, because episode 48 is going to be about fallout, not promises. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, and make sure you subscribe to Series World for daily previews, predictions, and full episode breakdowns of Arafta. Your support truly helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching, stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video.